Alright, we got some coax offerings, some more coax offerings here. I'm trying to do some fall cleanup around the shack and get rid of some excess cables and whatnot. So I'm working through some of the cables that I'm doing pretty good with, and appreciate everybody's interest in these cable assemblies and stuff that I'm selling that just are taking up too much room in the shack here. I think some of us probably have the same difficulties, and it's hard to let things go, but there comes a time and place where we have to do that. So the first one we're going to look at is this one. This is ABR RG213. Sometimes they put dates on them, but I don't see a date on this one. It's fairly new. It has been used outside briefly, so you might see there's a little bit of residue from the antenna sealant tape that I used, the Coaxial it's called. It's very gooey and kind of gummy, but it works well for blocking condensation and whatnot. So we're going to test the center lead first, continuity, and that's good, and there's no crossing or anything like that, so that one's fine. We'll go to the braid side. This one doesn't have any ring terminals on it, so that would be something the new owner would have to do themselves. Ground is good, and there's no interaction between the center either. So this one is a 3-footer. Then we have a shorter one here. Now this one has never been used outside. I did solder up the ring terminals. When you get these from ABR, they don't solder them. I actually ordered some new ones because I'm getting a different HF antenna, and I ordered to run a cable with these on it. I need to, it's actually not really relevant to what we're doing here, but since I'm talking about it, I need to ask them if they'll solder it for me, just so it can save me the trouble. But anyways, let's connect this one to the hot side right there. This is a 1.5 footer. And then to the hot side here. Are we on the right one? Sometimes they don't. Let's do this over. Oh, that's the braid side, sorry. I wondered why it wasn't making a connection. So that's our braid side. I should have known that with the lesser diameter heat shrink there. That's our braid, so that was my mistake. Nobody's perfect here. And then it's not making any continuity to the braid to center. So I was thinking, okay, I just tested this before I made the video. Here's our center. Yep, that's good. Nothing here. So that one's covered. I have to apologize. I'm not a real professional video person here, but... And then we have the last one here. And I'll sell these individual or together. It really doesn't matter. Innov antennas. This is a ferrite core. I think it's a 1-to-1. I'm not sure which mix they use. I'm assuming it's going to be mix 31. I would assume that, but I'm not entirely sure. So this one, they have it marked, so I'm assuming this is our center with the red. We're just going to assume that and hope that it is. So this one is probably the longest of all of them. I can't really speak on how long it is, but I'm assuming it's over 3 foot at least. So probably between 3 and like 5 feet, somewhere in that range. So it's obviously would work well on a Yagi, something that you could, terminate at the feed point with this, and then you'd have plenty of room to get out of the way of the boom and stuff for a rotor loop if you needed to do something like that. So this is the center, and this is the center here, so it's working good. Nothing here. This is the braid. I'm not sure what kind of coax cable this is. I noticed it's not as flexible as the 213. Both of these are RG213 from ABR, if I didn't already mention that. This might be a little more rigid, this Innov antenna, so I'm not sure what they use for their coaxial balance, although I would just call this a feedline choke basically. So I have a Mosley antenna coming, and directions from Mosley are very specific, and I didn't want to have to reconfigure any of these or anything, and they're telling me not to use any beads or anything, just to use the old style way, the coaxial loop, as they say. So I'm going to follow what the manufacturer says on that. I'm not going to try to rewrite the world of antenna. I do what they say, and usually things will work out well. So these, although I could have used this one, probably it's physically too long and I didn't want to have to shorten it and everything, so I just ordered new cable from them. And they have a limitation on the length of the, they want up to 2.5 inches max from, you know, where it splits to the ring terminal. And I could have shortened it, but I just didn't feel like it. So this one, I believe when I disconnected it from an antenna, it was easier at the time because it was up in the air just to cut. And that's why this one is cut like that. So I'll sell them all individually or together. It's entirely up to whatever the user wants. Whoever decides they might want to buy one, just let me know. I'm going to list them as 1.5 foot, 3 foot will be the one that is not terminated, and in-ove antenna with an unknown footage, but I want to say it's at least longer than 3 foot and probably no more than 4 or 5 feet. So just to give a general idea, this one looks to have some heat shrink, but probably I would definitely, once you connect it to your feed line, I would weatherproof this you know, quite well, and that would go with all these two, weatherproof them for moisture blocking. So that's it on these ones. Good luck to anyone that's interested, and 73.